I heard you want a wife. My daughter is perfect for you." The wind howled through Dust Creek as the sun dipped low over the endless prairie. The year was 1885, and the town was little more than a handful of wooden buildings, a saloon that never slept, and souls trying to survive on the edge of nowhere. Into this forgotten corner of the frontier rode a man with a past heavy as the colt on his hip. His name was Eli Carter, a quiet drifter with eyes that had seen too much war and too little peace. His horse, a gray Mustang named Boone, was the only friend who hadn't left him behind. Eli had come looking for work, but Dust Creek wasn't the kind of place that welcomed strangers. Men eyed him with suspicion. Women crossed the street when he passed. He carried the scent of gunpowder and regret, and that didn't sit well in a town already haunted by its own ghosts. As he stepped into the general store that afternoon, an old woman with silver braids and sharp eyes stood behind the counter. Her name was Mara, known by everyone simply as Old Mara, though she wasn't just another storekeeper. She was the daughter of a proud Apache elder and the widow of a rancher killed in the border wars. People whispered that she could see a man's soul with one look, and whether it was worth saving. She studied Eli for a long moment, her weathered hands stilling on the counter. "You've got the look of a man running from something," she said softly. Eli met her gaze. "Ain't we all, ma'am?" Mara's mouth curved in a faint smile. "Maybe so, but you look like you've been running a long time." Eli nodded and bought a few supplies, his mind elsewhere. But before he could leave, Mara's voice stopped him. "I heard you're looking for work," she said. "I am. My ranch needs strong hands. But that's not all I'm offering." Eli turned back, brow furrowed. Mara's tone had shifted. There was weight in her words now. "I heard you want a wife," she said plainly, "and my daughter is perfect for you." The store fell silent. Eli blinked, unsure if he'd heard right. "Beg your pardon?" Mara straightened, her eyes firm. "My daughter Willa, she's young, strong, and kind. She's known hardship like you. A good man could give her a future. You've got the look of one." Eli felt heat rise to his face. "Ma'am, I ain't the kind of man that deserves—" "You let me decide what my daughter deserves," Mara cut in. "She needs someone steady, someone who won't treat her like a burden. I've seen too many men come through this town thinking women are things to be traded. You ain't like them." "I can tell." Eli didn't know what to say. He hadn't come looking for love or a home. He'd come looking to forget. But that night, as he rode back toward the outskirts of town, he couldn't shake Mara's words. Somewhere out there was a girl whose mother believed in her so fiercely she'd offer her heart to a stranger. Days later, Eli took the job at Mara's ranch. The place was humble, a few cattle, a weathered barn, a field of sunburnt soil. And that's where he first saw Willa. She was nothing like the broken, timid figure he'd imagined. She stood barefoot in the dust, braiding her dark hair, eyes sharp as the edge of a blade. Her skin glowed bronze under the sun, and there was defiance in her stance, as though the world had already tried to break her and failed. When she saw Eli, she didn't smile. "You're the drifter Ma hired?" she asked. "That'd be me." "I don't like drifters." Eli tilted his hat. "Then you'll like me less the more you know." Her mouth twitched, almost a smirk. "We'll see." Over the next weeks, they worked side by side in the fields. She moved with quiet grace, strength in every motion. She was wild, untamed, yet there was a deep sadness in her eyes, a wound she hid behind pride. Eli didn't ask questions. But one evening, when the sun painted the sky in fire, Willa spoke first. "They burned our village when I was little," she said softly. "White men. My father fought. He didn't come back. Mama says forgiveness is strength. I'm still learning how." Eli's chest tightened. "You and me both," he murmured. She looked at him then, really looked, and something passed between them, a flicker of recognition, like two lost souls realizing they'd been walking the same road all along. That night, Mara watched them from the porch, a small, knowing smile on her lips. "He's the one," she whispered to the stars. "He just don't know it yet." Days turned to weeks. Eli found himself fixing fences, tending horses, and laughing again. something he hadn't done in years. Willa's laughter was bright, alive, like the sound of water in a dry canyon. And yet he still carried his past like a chain. One night the storm came, thunder rolling like cannon fire. Willa stood in the doorway, hair whipping in the wind, shouting over the rain. "What are you afraid of, Eli?" He met her gaze. "That I'll ruin you," he said hoarsely. "You can't ruin someone who's already been broken," she said. "But you can help her heal." And in that moment, under the lightning, Eli realized something. Mara hadn't just offered him a wife. She'd offered him a chance at redemption. Spring came to Dust Creek like a promise. The land bloomed again, and with it, something inside Eli began to thaw. He and Willa grew inseparable, not in words, but in glances, gestures, the way her hand brushed his when they worked. Still, he held himself back. He'd killed men in the war and worse after. He didn't think he had the right to happiness, but Mara saw through him. One morning she cornered him by the well. "You're afraid to love her," she said. Eli froze. "I ain't got nothing to offer. You've got your heart. That's enough. Willa don't need gold or land. She needs peace. And maybe you do too." He wanted to believe her. But when trouble came, it came fast. A band of riders swept into town one afternoon, led by Clayton Red, a cruel rancher who believed he owned everything that breathed within 50 miles. He'd been after Mara's land for years, claiming debts that never existed. When he saw Willa, his gaze turned dark with desire. "Didn't know you had a pretty little half-breed daughter hiding out here, Mara," he sneered. "Maybe it's time the debt got settled another way." Eli stepped between them. "You best leave," Clayton laughed. "And who the hell are you?" "Just a man who's done run out of patience." The fight was fast, brutal. Eli took a bullet through the shoulder, but dropped 2 of Clayton's men before they rode off, swearing vengeance. Willa knelt beside him, her hands trembling. "Why'd you do that?" she cried. "Because no man's gonna hurt you while I'm still breathing," he gasped. For days, she tended his wounds, refusing to leave his side. Mara prayed by the fire, whispering blessings in her people's tongue. And in the quiet of those nights, Eli found something he hadn't known he was missing: belonging. When he finally stood again, Willa met him under the stars. "You should have let him go," she said. "Couldn't," Eli replied. "Some things you don't walk away from." She stepped closer, eyes shimmering. "Then don't walk away from me either." He hesitated, torn between guilt and longing. "You don't know what I've done, Willa." "I don't care," she said. "I know who you are now. That's enough." And when he kissed her, it wasn't a moment of passion. It was surrender. Surrender to hope, to healing, to the wild, untamed beauty of love that grows even in the hardest soil. Weeks later, Mara gathered them both. "I told you," she said to Eli, eyes shining. "My daughter is perfect for you. You were both lost. Now you're found." But fate, as always, wasn't done testing them. Clayton Red returned with fire in his heart and men on his trail. A storm of vengeance loomed, and the only thing stronger than hate was love willing to die to protect what it cherished most. The night before the reckoning, Willa stood by the corral, her hand resting on Boone's mane. "If tomorrow goes bad," she whispered, "promise me you'll live. Don't let this love die with the sunrise." Eli took her hands, pressed them to his chest. "I ain't got nothing left if I lose you." The wind carried their words away into the night, but the stars bore witness. And come dawn, when the riders came, the drifter and the woman who'd healed his soul stood side by side, ready to face the fire together. Because love, real love, isn't found, it's fought for.